Hello, welcome to your latest 10-day trend. The heat and humidity will build for a time Sunday and into Monday for many areas of the UK. But for the time being, it's staying fairly unsettled across the UK. We've got a cut-off area of the jet stream driving this area of low pressure. That's bringing this more unsettled weather we've seen through Wednesday. Pretty blustery day for many areas. Now that low pressure stays with us through the rest of the week, but overnight on Wednesday night, a warm front approaches from the south and west, and this is going to introduce some much more humid air just for a time on Thursday. It's just a short-lived humid spell at first. More details on Sunday and Monday in a moment. But through Thursday, quite a lot of cloud arriving from the south and west, and that will be particularly thick across coastal areas and over the hills as well. So if you're heading out to the coast and the hills, it's going to feel pretty miserable, I would think, and some potentially quite heavy rain. But as I said, the humidity is rising. Temperatures will be around 24 degrees in the south and east possibly, but there's not going to be too much in the way of sunshine. And the heavy rain will likely continue through the evening, particularly across north and eastern areas. However, as the night progresses through Thursday night, the front will clear through and that will introduce fresher air once again. So we'll be back into similar air that we've had through Wednesday. Still a bit of a breeze across northwestern areas. It could be a pretty grey start across the south and east, but it should brighten up by the afternoon. And in the sunshine, despite fresher air, it's still pretty warm. Temperatures in the mid-20s, low 20s quite widely across England and Wales. Where we're closer to the area of low pressure, we've got a bit of a stronger breeze from the west. Temperatures in the high teens and still quite showery across northern areas through Friday. And that showery theme will likely continue Friday evening across the far north of Scotland. Elsewhere, probably a fairly fine end to the working week, with clear skies developing across the UK. It is going to cloud over as we head into the weekend. Once again, though, we've got the next weather front approaching from the southwest. Another warm front, so it's going to introduce more humid air once again. This isn't the most humid or the hottest air we'll see over the weekend. That's to come on Sunday, but it does mean that we'll have a pretty cloudy start quite widely across northern and western areas. That will sink into the south and east, but it will tend to fizzle away as it does so through Saturday. So I think still quite a lot of dry weather can be expected on Saturday, and in the sunshine, again, not feeling too bad. Temperatures in the low 20s, high teens, possibly the mid-20s, where we're holding on to that more humid air for a little longer across the southeast. Now, as I've alluded to, it will turn even warmer and more humid as we head into Sunday, the latter part of the weekend. You can see the first signs of that across the southwest on Saturday evening, so that humidity will probably start to rise through the latter part of Saturday from the south and west. So it is a warm front out to the south and west of the UK. And here is the area of low pressure associated with it. Now, the development of this is a little more complicated, and to understand that, we need to look a little further afield at Hurricane Debbie, which was previously Hurricane Debbie, now Tropical Storm Debbie. It's brought some very heavy rain to eastern areas of the US. Up to 800 millimetres can be expected through the rest of this week for some areas of the US. So by the time we get to Saturday, it's sat up across the far northeast of the US into parts of eastern Canada by the time we get to Saturday. And the shape and development of this area of low pressure, this tropical storm, really influences the shape of the jet stream. Here's the jet stream. You can see that Debbie starts to build the shape of the jet stream, amplifying it up to the north. It then dives down to the south of the UK before diving back up to the north just before the UK by Saturday. And this amplified pattern is what's going to drive this tropical air, this very humid air across the UK Sunday and into Monday. Let's have a look at how that plays out. So low pressure will arrive from the south and west. That's going to be bringing up this area of tropical air. It will likely start to sit up to the north and west of the UK. There's a bit of uncertainty in the development on this low pressure, but it's likely it will then clear out to the south and east of the UK through Monday evening and into Tuesday. So it's going to be a fairly short-lived hot spell. Temperatures will likely peak on Monday, so we get this tropical air. It does develop quite widely, at least for a time, Sunday and into Monday. Now, this is the Met Office model. It shows low pressure, fairly developed area of low pressure up to the north and west by Monday evening. That would drive the cooler air across the UK, the fresher air, more quickly Monday and into Tuesday. But other models show a less developed area of low pressure, which would mean that milder, warmer, humid air would hang around for longer. However, either way, the heat and humidity is expected to build for a time across the UK Sunday and Monday. It's likely to be a fairly short-lived hot spell, but we could see temperatures climb into the low 30s for parts of the southeast. However, for a wide area of parts of England and Wales, temperatures are expected to exceed 25 degrees, coming close to the high 20s for a large area of England and Wales, and in the southeast, temperatures exceeding 30 degrees. So temperatures will be high by day, but it's also by night, particularly Sunday night, where it will be very warm and humid. Now that heat will ease as we head into Tuesday, and once we see that heat ease, we'll see a spell of wet weather push across the country. We could also see some thunderstorms develop quite widely across the country on Sunday, Monday and into Tuesday. This is the precipitation totals for 48 hours between Sunday and Monday. So it's on the boundary between the warmer and the cooler air where we're expecting the heaviest rain to be. Now, we could see some waves develop across the front. That would allow some higher totals to develop. So I've got the Met Office model on the left here and the European model ECMWF on the right. Now, ECMWF is currently the most preferred model, and that develops a bit of a wave across parts of Scotland. So you can see the brighter colours across parts of western Scotland show higher rainfall totals on that boundary between the cooler and the hot air on Sunday and into Tuesday. In the Met Office model, where there's less of a significant heavy rainfall event across northwestern areas, but we do see some high rainfall totals across parts of England. That's because that boundary will likely push through more quickly in the Met Office model. But as I said, it's the European model which is currently preferred. There's also some other areas of heavier rain across parts of England and Wales, and these would be due to thunderstorms breaking out through Sunday and Monday and possibly into Tuesday. So there's potential for some heavy rain as well as the heat and humidity through Sunday and into Monday. But as I said, it's going to be a short-lived hot spell, and wet weather will likely push eastwards across the country Monday and into Tuesday. And behind it, we'll be back into a more unsettled, mobile regime. So spells of wet weather, low pressure dominating our weather through much of the middle part to the end of next week. This is one of the most likely regimes from around Tuesday. We've got low pressure centred up to the north and west, and that would push wet weather predominantly into northwestern areas, probably a bit dry across the south and east, but I think that weather is likely to spread into southeastern areas at times through the week. And we've also got low pressure in this regime. This is the most likely regime by Wednesday, the following day. Low pressure still centred up to the north, high pressure to the south, which means that we could see some ridging, some drier weather becoming a bit more widespread across the UK. So I think the main theme, once this heat and humidity clears out the way, is for a pretty mixed setup through next week. Some spells of drier and warmer weather, but also spells of wet weather that could be fairly widespread across the country. And finally, the temperatures. What does that mean for our temperatures? Well, this is the meteogram, as we like to call it. This is for Reading, somewhere in the southeast. So you can see quite clearly this peak in temperatures, the rise in temperatures Sunday and Monday that we're expecting across England and Wales, but particularly across the southeast, but then a significant drop into the middle part of next week. And then temperatures remain largely around average, if not a little above average. And I think if we saw any of those drier, more settled spells, we could see some warmer days, but also potentially some wetter days as well. So a few changes on the way to our weather, lots of interesting weather to get our teeth into. So if you'd like any more information on that, why not check out our deep dive on YouTube, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.